This is the third in a series of videos designed to teach you the basics of HTML5. In this video, I'll be demonstrating how to add images to your web page and also how to add hyperlinks to other websites. This is the HTML code that we'll be starting with, and this is what it looks like in the browser. In the body section, we have an H1 heading element, and we also have an IMG or image element, which represents an image. The image element does not have a closing tag. The information for this element is specified using attributes. So let's take a look at the attributes. This is the src or source attribute. It's used to specify the URL of the image. A URL can use a relative or an absolute address. Let's look at examples of both of these. This is an example of a relative address. This image file is located in the same directory as the HTML document, so only the name of the image file is needed. If the image were located in a subdirectory, then you would add the subdirectory name followed by a / followed by the image file name. If the image file were located up one directory from the HTML document, then you would use 2 dots followed by a / followed by the image file name. Here is an example of an absolute address. An absolute address needs to start with the protocol, which is typically HTTP, and that needs to be followed by a colon and 2 /. An absolute address can point to your own website or to a different website. In this example, I'm using a relative address. Since the image file is located in the same directory as the HTML document, I just need to specify the image file name. Now let's look at another attribute. This is the alt attribute that is used to specify alternate text. This text can be very useful for things like screen readers and text-only browsers. Next, we have the height and width attributes. These attributes specify the height and width of the image. The values are in pixels. The height and width attributes are not required, but it can be a good idea to use them so that the browser will know how much space to reserve for the image before the image is actually loaded. Now let's look at how to add a hyperlink. Hyperlinks can be used to link to other pages. So I'm going to paste in a line of code. This is the A element or anchor element, and it represents a hyperlink. This element has a start and an end tag. It also uses an href attribute to specify the location of the web page that it is linking to. The value of the href attribute is a URL, and it can be a relative or an absolute address. In this example, I'm going to link to littlewebhut.com. The content in between the start and end tags will be displayed in the browser. Let's take a look at this. Here's the text that's in between the start and end tags. When I click on it, we are taken to the web page that we specified. Let's go back now and also return to our HTML code. I'm going to put our A element inside a paragraph element and add some additional text. So here's the start p tag and the end p tag. Now I'll add some text before the A element, and I'll also add some text after the A element. So what will be displayed in the browser is this text, followed by this text, followed by this text. I'll save the file now and refresh the browser. Now you can see that we have text before and after the hyperlink text. You might have also noticed that all of this text moved down below the image. This is because the text is inside a paragraph element, and so it started a new paragraph. Now in this example, we have text in between the start and end A tags. But instead of text, we could put an image there instead. So let's do that. First, let's remove the text from between the start and end A tags. Then I'll press the Enter key. Now I'll cut this line of code that has the image, and I'll paste it in between the start and end A tags. It doesn't matter that the A element starts on one line and ends on another. Now I'm going to make a change to the text that comes before the A element. I'll also delete the text that comes after it. So here's what we have now. We have a paragraph element that contains text and an A element. and the A element contains an image element. So let's save the file and refresh the browser. Now when I click on the image, it takes me to the page that I linked to. Well, that concludes this video. You can find the code used in this video at littlewebhut.com. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe and leave a comment.